My name is Will, or williams.vdub on Instagram. I'm 38 years old. Originally, I'm from Southern California, but I moved out here in Vegas when I was 17. Started during the COVID time. There was no cars on the street, and it kind of felt like a cool thing to get into. Me and my daughter were riding around and stuff and noticed a bunch of race cars throughout town, so it just became interesting to me to get into it a little bit. So I just started buying little parts here and there to put the car together. Obviously now, today, it's out of hand, but it was kind of something to look forward to when everybody was on lockdown. That's not my first car. I've had a couple cars before that, but this was my family car. And then when we ended up getting another car, I just chose to keep this one and start modding it. Team Fallen. So there was some drama going on between the club. I was the president of the club, and I tried to handle the situation the best I could. But then it got too personal and kind of came home. So I gave the ultimatum to either leave the club and have a couple of the guys run it, like the VP and stuff, or I was going to disband the club. So I ended up leaving myself, and I went solo for a couple months just to kind of get away from the dramas of it. So what happened is me and 15 people were part of a different car club. When I first got into the car scene, someone kind of nabbed me up and was like, hey, do you want to join our club? And it just got bigger and bigger, and it was pretty cool. But again, there was a lot of drama in that club, and I didn't want to deal with all the hostility of people's attitudes and stuff like that. So naturally, I was going to bounce. About 13 out of 15 members of that club actually left. And then we were hanging out here at my house, and we were kind of just, chilling and joking around, saying we should start another club. And we ended up starting Team Fallen. And we got the name too because it's we all kind of fell from where it originally started. Everybody appointed me the president. I don't know why. Maybe just because I'm old. But we ended up building up to 18 members, and we got about 11, 12 sponsorships, all local sponsorships, who supported us. And then we collabed with restaurants and Detail Garage, and Vape City was one of our biggest sponsors. And we just started hosting car meets and then doing probably about 10 charities throughout the year. So Christmas and Easter and all that. And it just went wild. Because there's a lot of clubs out there that are not as close, but we all hung out on a regular basis and did family stuff, going to the park and hanging out and doing barbecues or pool parties here and stuff like that. So it was more of a family style. Team Fallen, it wasn't about doing burnouts and donuts, takeovers, stuff like that. We were more of a park and chill is what you would call it. So so when I was in Team Fallen, I was building my car a lot, and a lot of the team weren't. So this is another reason why I wanted to leave Team Fallen, is because I just wanted to excel my build and eventually do more shows than car meets and stuff like that. When I went solo for a couple months, I ended up just keep building my car, and I had a couple well-known teams in Vegas kind of hit me up. And eventually I went with Evade because I knew, quite a few people on the team, and they were pretty nice, humble people. What I think about the Vegas car community, I think that it's less than what it used to be a couple years ago. I feel that it has deteriorated a lot because of stupid people. A lot of people take their cars and they mod them for the wrong reasons, to do takeovers and burnouts and donuts and stuff like that, and then they ruin it for people like me or you know, the majority of the car scene in Las Vegas is more of a park and chill or show, you know, stance type of car scene. So when you get just goofballs out there, you know, doing donuts in the middle of the street for no reason, it just kind of ruins it for everybody else. And the cops are like all over that. I mean, I was even at a meet last night, and before I even got there, there were police there making sure that it was going to be the type of meet it was supposed to be. I think that now, like this year, 2023, is going to like change a lot of that because a lot of people aren't dealing with it. I think Vegas can do better. I feel like it's just kind of dying out, and I kind of miss how many cars there used to be and all that stuff, and I feel like people are just getting discouraged because of getting, you know, fearing and being in trouble for just modding your car. Being in Team Fallen and being the president and running that club, I collabed and talked to a lot of other club people and sponsorships and small businesses around town, which kind of like forced me to meet a lot of people. So I feel like I'm pretty connected to a lot of people. Being on Evade is a little different than running a club because now I don't have all that responsibility of hosting meets and stuff like that. I kind of just build on my own time and show up when I want to, which is nice. It's good freedom to have. You're making me nervous now. I'm sorry.
I've seen my dad get really happy, and it makes me really happy seeing like.
It makes me happy too.
Yeah. There's so much good about it, but nowadays there could be so much bad about it too.
You have to balance everything. So like, it's a hobby. It's not like your whole life, you know?
He was so nervous. Like we pulled into the car lot and there's like all these builds there, and like he was a baby build. He didn't look nothing like that out there. I really pushed him to go park with all the other cars. He wanted to park in the back, but the second he parked with everyone else, he got compliments. And looking back, like, yeah, the card was a really small build back then. There wasn't a lot special about it, but he was proud of it, and that's what I remember that a lot, just because of how far he's come now. First car meet.
If I could go back and do it all over again for the last couple years, I wouldn't change a thing. I think it worked out perfect. I think it's only going to get better. I feel like everybody needs to understand that it doesn't matter what you have on your car, how far your build is. Everybody is on their own budget and time. And I feel like more people need to understand that, especially when going to meets. If you see a stock car and it only has wheels, you know, obviously that's what he can get right now, and you just have to be patient. I'm pretty sure nobody in this community built their car overnight, and if they did, they probably bought it from someone else. It took me like 3 years to build my car, and I'm not even done yet. I believe that's the right way. You need to do the process and just keep going.